This is Dan of 𝐕𝐈𝐃𝐈𝐈
𝐂𝐻𝐈𝐕𝐈𝐍 from 𝐻𝐈𝐕 Venture.
And we'd like to tell you about our living costs in Malaysia. And we're going to do it in two phases. The first phase, we're going to tell you what it costs to live in the three major cities that we recommend for retirement in Malaysia. Because we recommend an exploratory visit before you decide which city to settle in, not only in Malaysia, but Southeast Asia in general. You should bop around a little bit for a few months before you decide not only your favorite country, but your favorite city. And today we're focused on Malaysia. We want you to see these three cities, so we want you to tell you what the cost of living is. But we're giving you the cost of living for your exploratory visit. Once you pick the city, your expenses will be a little lower than we're quoting if you're us. They could be higher if you're you and you're spending more money than us. But so these are for cheap people like we are. At the end of here, we're going to tell you what the long-term rental costs are instead of the short-term Airbnb costs. And so you'll have a cost for each city. What do you have to say about that?
So we go for the first city?
Yeah, let's do it. Okay.
The lower loved one?
Lower loved?
Yeah.
Oh, you want to start least loved?
Yeah.
We agree on this, by the way. We love this city, but not as a place to live. It's more of a place to visit. But some of you will love it because it's smaller.
It's small. It's very smaller.
And it's called Malacca. And it's only about an hour from Kuala Lumpur.
Yeah, it's about an hour from Kuala Lumpur. And it's a very famous tourist town.
Very famous. And it has a beautiful colonial era center. It has like a night market, there's bars and restaurants, there's walking around and safe and beautiful. It's just a little small for our taste. But by the way, these costs we're going to give you include the buses to go between these towns. This is for an exploratory visit, and at the end we'll tell you what it costs to live there. Okay, so for Malacca, for two people, for 30 days, to rent there is $683 a month. And that's in an Airbnb apartment. It includes your utilities, your Wi-Fi, and everything. For your apartment. And the apartment was a one-bedroom apartment, fully furnished, had silverware in the kitchen and everything.
Yeah. And
it had a balcony. What else? Had swimming pools, parking for cars. You remember anything else? Yeah,
you can because the place we rent is hotel and resort together.
Yeah.
It's for apartment for this, so they have the place for you to play golf, cinema,
putt golf.
Yeah. And some
ping pong.
Ping pong.
Yeah.
Yeah, some the hotel kind of facility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, there's full reports on each of these cities, and you can click the link below this YouTube video, and it'll take you to the webpage where these numbers are and where there's links to each of our reports on each of these cities, so you don't need to memorize anything we're talking about. Okay, that's the rent. Next up is we spent about $70 or $32 while in Malacca, taking taxis and buses around town, enjoying ourselves.
Yeah, because in Malacca, if you live over there, definitely you need to have your own transportation. It's not really a walking distance kind of town.
Yeah.
And it depends on where you stay, but the famous place is only the old town. That is small, and yeah, you still need a transportation to go around.
Yeah, maybe to go to the mall or something.
Yeah, it's far from the mall.
The colonial or city center is charming and gorgeous, but if you want to go shopping at the mall or something, you're going to have to get a taxi there. Yes. So, the restaurants, we ate out mostly there, didn't we?
We ate out mostly there, almost like every day. And
it was $224 for our month.
Yeah.
Groceries were another $251 per month, and alcohol was $119. We spent $38 in snacks, $57 in personal items. Our internet SIM card was $32, and souvenirs, tickets, and tips was $34, and for a total of $1,473 for 30 days in Malacca. And so it's $736 per person. Again, you don't have to write this down. It's all on the webpage. Okay. We'll make an adjustment at the end, but that's for an Airbnb apartment, everything included.
Yes.
Okay, which city do you want to do next?
What do you think?
Kuala Lumpur?
Sure.
Okay. Kuala Lumpur for 2 people, for 30 days, the rent is $674. Again, that's an Airbnb apartment.
And it's it's including the utility, Wi-Fi, so it means that you can turn on the AC 24-hour, no limit.
Yeah, it's not metered. You're not paying extra. It's all included.
Yeah. And you are not worried about the Wi-Fi and all these things because everything is over there. So that is a price for the renting in Airbnb for short term.
Yeah, and the place we stayed is on the report for Kuala Lumpur, and was it the Elements?
No, this we stay in the MCD.
Okay, MC.
It's a 5-star condominium.
Very beautiful, super
They
nice.
have rock climbing, steam room,
Full
spa,
gym, both
full gym,
machines and free weights.
and the swimming pool, and the squash court.
Squash. There's a full expat grocery store downstairs.
Yes.
But we recommend a Chinese grocery store about 2 blocks away that we walk to that has better selection, better prices, and it's more expat friendly.
And 10 minutes to KLCC to watch a movie for $2.50.
The movie's $2. The bus is only like 15 cents or something crazy.
It's ringgit, 25 cents.
Yeah. By the way, in each of these Retired Teach reports, there's a bunch of videos, walking tours, restaurants, so you can really get a feel for the place. So you can join us in all of these places we go and see what life is really like in these places. So I'll just run down the list quick. Grocery. So we spent in Kuala Lumpur $70 on buses and taxis and Ubers, $240 in groceries, $23 in alcohol, $19 in snacks, $161 in personal items. Our internet SIM card was $22, and the total for the month was $1,243.75, which is $621 per person if you're 2 people.
Yeah.
All right. And last up? Yeah, Penang.
It's Penang.
Yeah, and so 2 people in Penang for 30 days, the rent is $676. There's cheaper and more expensive places on Airbnb, but that's where we stayed. Links provided. Bus was $89. Restaurants were $145.
There's buses and the taxi.
Yeah, buses, taxi, Uber.
Yeah, because sometimes why the buses and taxi is expensive because we went out for restaurants, at night, to the bar, to this, to that. So it will be more on that.
Yeah, it's probably a couple of taxi rides a week at least, right? I mean,
it's about like $5-6.
Because the place we stayed in, same thing, has a swimming pool, gym, guard at the the gate and everything. Not that it's a dangerous area, but it's typical condos in Malaysia.
Yeah.
Let's see, restaurants $145, groceries $223. By the way, this is all in dollars, converted to dollars for you. Alcohol is $117, snacks $17, personal items $173. What's that, like clothes and shoes and what?
Yeah, medicine, hair dye.
Okay. Internet SIM card $22.56. Tours, tips, and tickets $51, all for a total of $1,516 for a month, which is $758 for 2 people, or per person for 2 people.
Because we take the buses and the taxi to the tourist, tourist area. We went for a lot of places.
We did a lot of sightseeing tours, and it's all included in that.
Yeah.
And so you should understand that these are exploratory visit costs. Mm-hmm. That means we recommend an exploratory visit. If you're picking Malaysia, you think that's where you want to retire, or Vietnam, or Philippines, or whatever, we recommend the first few years when you're retiring that you bop about. For example, you can show up in Malaysia as an American. They give you 90 days, no questions asked, no return flights. They don't ask where you're staying, nothing. Bam, 90 days. Yeah. This would give you a month in each of these places, and that would be about what you would pay if you're cheap like us. You could pay more if you want, pay less if you're even cheaper.
And also, Malaysia is on 2019 that time is the best country for retirements and hospital. A
lot of people rank it very high.
Yeah, it's ranked very high on last year. That's why Malaysia is getting famous on last year. everyone want to go there. It's cheap. It's all English speaking, and transportation, Uber, Grab car, hospitality is good.
Yeah, everything's great there. It's a wonderful place. Now, because it's an exploratory visit cost, it's a little more. And so we don't expect you to just go to Malaysia, go to 3 cities, pick a place and live happily ever after. You need to go to Thailand after that, Cambodia, Vietnam, Philippines, Indonesia, whatever your thing is. But the point here is to point out that if you slow travel in this way, people think, oh, it's crazy to travel the world, it's expensive, you can't do it. It comes out to, for the 90 days in Malaysia, it's $4,233. For 2 people, it's $2,100 per person. Per month, it's $705 per person per month. So grab a buddy, grab a spouse, whatever, hang out in Malaysia for, $700 a month. You can't even, your rent would be more than that in the US.
And we need to go for the long term.
Yeah. So so 90 days in Malaysia, but now you pick, you've been to Vietnam, you've been to Cambodia, you've slow travel through those places for even cheaper, and now you're wondering, what is the long term rent going to be? Okay. Mm-hmm. So we did a little check-in online, and I want to update these figures for you real quickly. It'll only take a minute. But long-term rents in Kuala Lumpur are about $350. It's not for a luxury high-rise, but it's for a nice, clean, middle-class apartment, $350 a month. That's probably going to be for a 2-bedroom apartment. Your utilities are going to be about $100 a month, and your Wi-Fi will be $45.
Usually it's $100 a month because if you're using the AC, air conditioner.
Yeah, most Westerners want to use the AC all the time.
Yes.
So that comes. So if you subtract the rent from the Airbnb apartment and you add the sum of those of the cheaper rents, you come to $1,064 a month for 2 people. So technically, if you're cheap like us, and assuming no inflation, which is a bad assumption, you got to add some inflation. But.
Yeah, so the Malacca is about $250, and Malacca is not recommended for the people who want to retire.
Yeah, we're not recommending, but some people will love it more than these other.
Yeah, because you need to have your own transportation.
Well, not if you live in the central area, right?
No, we still need that.
Really? You'd buy a car?
Because the grocery store is far from the town, if you still remember.
Yeah, but you just take a taxi twice a week, or once a week, go to the grocery store. Mm-hmm. And Uber's $2-3 taxi, right?
No, the Uber over there is far. It's about $4 or $5
each way.
Yes.
Okay, so even $4 or $5. That's better than paying a car payment and insurance, right? If you do it twice a month.
Because Uber and Grab car is very easy to be.
Yeah, and you don't need to worry about parking the car or insurance or gasoline or repairs.
Yeah, and the Malacca is very happening in the weekend only, so weekday is like nothing.
Yeah. So anyway, all 3 of these, if you look at what you come to the webpage, you can see what we're quoting for local rents long term, and you'll see that Kuala Lumpur, you're living for about $1,064 a month. Once you decide to go long term, Malacca, $1,159 per month, and Penang, about $1,200 per month. These are for 2 people, and so you'd knock $100 or $2 off of what it costs to do an exploratory visit. So that's why I'm always saying to you, it's not that much more expensive to do an exploratory visit. You need to do it. Don't just assume your internet research is going to tell you where to live. You need to go and look. You need to bop around and see the places.
And I just found a place that stay in the Penang.
Yeah.
It's very nice, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, big corner, 2 balcony. The rent is about $250, and you stay able to negotiate.
It says negotiable.
And negotiable. So wow, it's about to fringy. So everyone love that place. Man, that. I just tell to them that, wow, I want to go to Penang and live over there first for a few months.
Yeah, for sure. So that's the cost of living in Malaysia, and that's for both long-term visitors or exploratory visitors, just there for 3 months or whatever. So if you have any questions, please leave them below. We'll do our best to answer them. Please come get a free ebook, How to Fire Your Boss and Travel the World. Just click the link below this YouTube video. And also go over and check out Cheng Hui's webpage. She did a great video recently. It's coming up soon?
No, it's Friday.
It's Friday?
Yes.
Of this week?
Yes.
Okay, Friday of this week, go check out her webpage. She did a nice little video on Vietnamese spring rolls. So.
You just tell people the story.
That's okay.
No. See you.
See you later. Bye.